Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to use Scratch. Now Scratch is a block-based programming language and some of you may have already been familiar with this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to scratch.mit.edu. Now once you're here, you're going to click on Join Scratch. Now this does not have a Gmail login, so you will have to create your own account. Just make sure you remember your password. And once you've done that, sign into your account so you can save all of your work. Alright, so once you've created an account and signed in, we're going to go up here to Create. So this is the Scratch editor. So you'll see on the far left hand side, these are all the different categories: motion, looks, sound, events, control, sensing, operators, variables, and my blocks. The next bar over are all the individual code blocks. So for instance, move 10 steps, turn 15 degrees, so on and so forth. If we just click on one of the categories, you'll notice it jumps down to the different code blocks. We have our main programming window. So this window right here in the middle says where we're going to be dragging out our code blocks and creating our code. And here we have the preview window. The other very important thing to know is this little green flag and red stop sign right up here. So I'll go through a quick program to show you how this works. The first thing you're going to do is you want to click on Events and drag out the first block. So when the green flag is clicked. Now when I click the green flag, notice, well, nothing happens because there's nothing under here. So let's make this kitty do something. We'll go over here to motion. We'll have him just move 10 steps. So all I'm going to do is going to click this block and I'm going to drag it and click it in place. Now you'll notice it snaps right to it. If you move it over and it does this, it's not snapped in place correctly, but you'll see a little gray outline show up when it's going to snap in place properly. Now when I click the green flag, if you watch the kitty real quick, wow, he moved 10 steps. Amazing, I know. So every time I click the green flag, he's going to move 10 steps. Well, to get rid of that, we'll just drag and drop it over here. Really though, we want him to do something a little more than that. Let's see if we can get him to walk across the screen nicely. So to do that, what we're going to want to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to click and drag our kitty into the bottom left hand corner. Now you'll notice when I do that, some numbers update. You'll see the X and Y values here, but also the X and Y values on these code blocks over here move. So watch this area carefully where the code blocks are as I move the cat around. Now those of you who are pretty good in math might notice the numbers follow a pattern that you've seen before. If you think of this preview window right here as a coordinate plane, so imagine a line running down the center as your y-axis, and a line running horizontally, that would be your x-axis. So this area is quadrant 1, so notice all positive numbers. Quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. So 0, 0 is somewhere in the middle here, and I can actually make him go to 0, 0 to my origin just by clicking there. So that's kind of the general way this program keeps track of where your character, or your sprite as it's known, is. So what we're going to do is we're going to want him to start down here and just walk across the screen. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this right here. So when the flag is clicked, we're going to go to, and you'll see an X and Y coordinate. Now that these numbers correspond to the numbers he's currently at, or whatever his position currently is. So wherever you put him, it's going to update that code block. Click that on. So anytime I move him, if I click the green flag right now, he's going to go back to that exact position every time. After he goes there, we want him to move across the screen to here. Now we could have him just go to there. Notice that the number's updated. And every time you click the green flag, well, it kind of looks like he's already there. That's because he's going so fast from there to there that you can't really even see it. So that doesn't really work very well. Let's move that. Instead of just having him jump there, so he's immediately jumping here, then he was jumping to that other one, we're going to want him to glide across. So in 1 second, he's going to go from there, move it there, to here. So notice his current position. So now when I click the green flag, he will go to that position over here, and then in 1 second glide to this location. And there he goes. Yay! We made a cat move across the screen. Doesn't look really good though. Just a kitty moving. Not very convincing. So let's change this up. Let's add a little animation to this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add another box of code. Now we could combine it together, but I personally like doing this one separate. And we're going to go here to looks. Now another tab that you might see up here is costumes. And you'll notice this sprite has 2 costumes. And if I click back and forth really quickly, well, it looks like the cat is moving. So what we're going to do is go back to code, and we're going to use this. We are going to create what's called a loop, and we're going to have him change costumes back and forth to give the appearance that he's moving. So we're going to click on Control, and we're going to drag this forever loop right here. Then we're going to go to Looks, and we're going to have him switch to his next costume. So that would basically make him go from here to 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 here forever. So that's what this blocker here is going to do. Now if we do that right now, you'll notice a problem. It's moving so fast that, well, it doesn't look very good. So down under Control, there's another very easy to use and very commonly used block. It's just a wait block. So we're going to want him to wait before switching to his next costume. Now, if we have him wait 1 second, well, that kind of defeats the purpose because he's already to the end in 1 second. So we can click here and change it to whatever decimal value we want. Something like 0.25, so 1/4 of a second. Now when we run our program, it gives the appearance that the cat is moving or walking across the screen. He's still moving a little fast, kind of hard to make out. So let's just change our glide and make it 2 seconds. So now it'll take twice the amount of time. And there we have it. Now maybe when he gets here, we don't want him to keep walking. So you'll notice he's going to do exactly what our code says. He's going to keep going on forever. So one thing that's great to do is this little box right here. This code, stop all. So that's going to stop everything when he gets to the end. And there we go. Last but not least, let's add a background, because right now it just looks like he's walking across a blank screen. So down here, we can choose our sprite if we wanted to add a different one, or we can choose a backdrop. So I'm going to go here, and let's find something for him to walk across. And just basic blue sky will do. And there we go. We now have an animation of a kitty walking across the screen.